Johnny Depp's defamation trial against ex-wife Amber Heard has begun in the US.
Depp is suing his ex Amber Heard for $50 million in damages over an article she published, an op-ed back in 2018 in the Washington Post.
Depp says Heard's allegations cost him his career. Heard countering her life was destroyed by Depp.
The jury has returned after almost 13 hours deliberations and gone through every question they were required to answer on Johnny Depp's $70 million defamation claim against his former wife Amber Heard, and they've answered yes in every case.
While the trial was going on, we were kind of like, how is this all going to shake out? Because during the trial, we saw how the fans felt because they let us know on social media, and they told us at sunrise on our social media, so we knew exactly how they felt. They seemed to be Team Johnny Depp, but really, a year later is really how we're going to figure out how we really feel about it and how everyone's doing and how the industry is responding, because we know how the fans think, but we don't know how the industry thinks. So now a year later, we really have a clear picture of what the industry had to say about it. And I think it's very telling that she is persona non grata in Hollywood. Nobody wants to work with her. She did some Italian movie with people you've never heard of, who've been in things you've never seen. Meanwhile, now Disney, who had originally backed away from him, is now kind of floating the idea that they may want him back as Jack Sparrow.
Looky here, boy. A lost bird. A lost bird that never learned to fly.
Okay, so here's what happened. So during the trial, they didn't know what was going to happen in the end. They didn't know who was going to win. And during the time of Me Too, the first thing that they usually do is say, oh, we need to back away from the man or the person being accused. So they did that. They did the right thing because they didn't know how it was going to all shake out. But once they saw that Johnny Depp won and that people were kind of on Johnny Depp's side, they had already gone down the road. They already hired Margot Robbie and they thought, look, this is going to be great. And then they realized very quickly that, we love her, but she's not really right for this role and it's not really working out. So they scrapped that idea. But now they have this huge franchise. So Sean Bailey, who now runs Disney and Disney Plus and everything Disney, is out there floating the idea of, we're thinking about Johnny Depp. He is waiting for us to respond. He wants to see if we're going to be like, Johnny Depp, no. But I think he's going to be surprised because there's a lot of Johnny Depp fans out there that want to see him as Jack Sparrow. So I think they're waiting to see our response before they officially make an announcement, but it's looking like that's what's happening. He's the franchise. It's hard to do it without him. Even if they felt that he was wrong because they were still going to take Amber Heard's side and they didn't want to, do anything that might be offensive to anybody, there's nobody else they can put in that role. Nobody. They would have to end the franchise. There's no way they can do it at this point. It's not like there was one movie. There've been like 30. So you can't do another part of the movie. So what they're saying now is they want to give it the respect it deserves, and they want to kind of have the out, if they're going to have the character say goodbye, they want it to be Johnny Depp. But Johnny Depp is always unpredictable. He was unpredictable before this trial. They knew what they were getting into. That's the problem that happens with a really talented actor and somebody that is really good for a role. Usually they're nuts. They're crazy. Their personal life is just off the chain. But that's what makes them so interesting. And that's why we love to watch them, because we're kind of watching Johnny Depp while we're watching Jack Sparrow. We're getting a little insight into who he is. And people are interested in that. They care about that. They care about him, even if they love to hate him. There's all these famous actors that we've heard about in the past that people secretly hate, but they go out and see the movies, they go and spend the money. And sometimes, it's motivating when somebody is really compelling. When it came to Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, who really won? We know he won the trial, but who really won? So she had to move to Spain because she, like I said, is persona non grata in Hollywood. I'm sure she walks down the street, people will probably yell things at her. Meanwhile, Johnny Depp made history. He signed the largest men's fragrance contract with Dior in history. It's a $20+ million contract. So even though Disney is kind of how do we feel about him? Not Dior. Dior is we're all in. And they spent the money, and there's no backlash. I mean, there's literally no backlash. I've seen the ads everywhere. America is embracing Johnny Depp, and they can't wait for these ads to come out. You know, he has a lot of support here in America. And it's interesting because not only does he have support, as an actor, he's also a musician. He's been on tour. And I mean, those shows are sold out. You can't get a ticket. I don't think she thinks she's wrong. She's doubled down. Every time she's done an interview about it, she has never once said, you know, maybe I misinterpreted the situation. Maybe it's like his word against mine. Maybe I didn't. No, she never said that. She was always like, I am right, he is wrong, you will all see. So she's not backing off of it, and now there's a rumor that she's out there writing a book about it. But what's she going to say in the book that she hasn't already said? I mean, the worst came out during the trial. Like, you know, at this point, nobody wants her in a movie. Nobody wants to work with her. I think a book is her only option to make any money at this point. She really is a villain. So she had said that the money that he was giving her was going to go to charity, $2 million, all of it was going to charity. And it came out during the trial that the charities that she said that she was giving money to, the people who run the charities came out and said, yeah, she gave us $100,000. No, she gave you $1 million. No, she said she was going to give us $1 million. She gave us $100,000. Here's the evidence. Here's our books. And then they just had person after person coming out and saying, like, here's the canceled check. Here's the promissory note. It was just, she even lied about that. She lied about charity. In America, usually when there's a big case and you find out somebody owes $10 million, they rarely see that money. You know, we're seeing that happen right now with Elizabeth Holmes, you know, the whole Theranos thing with her paying back money that she owes. She doesn't have it, just the way that Amber Heard doesn't have it. Whatever money she has been taken. You know, she has no salary, no income coming in. And usually what they do is they garner their income. But there's no incentive for her to work at this point. Remember, she's got a baby with Elon Musk. So he is paying for the baby. So she doesn't need to worry about that, right? So any money she makes has to go right into Johnny Depp's pocket. And she's not going to let that happen. So my prediction for Johnny Depp for the next month or so, I would say, you know, he's turning 60 and he's really feeling very fired up. He's feeling himself. I mean, he's out there doing music, and I think Disney is going to bring him back to Pirates, and it's going to be big. It's going to be bigger than any other Pirates movie because remember, there's a lot of human interest in it as well. So it's not about just supporting the Pirates franchise. It's about supporting Johnny Depp. This is the opportunity for all those fans who sat there listening to these lies about him for months and months. This is their chance to say with their wallets that we support you.